Hello and welcome to the 9 News Business Buzz, where we take up what's happening in business, why it's important to you and our economy. I'm Ryan Frazier, 9 News business expert and CEO of Frazier Global. I'm joined today by Drew Lyon, co-founder of Pallium, an AI-powered tech company. Drew, welcome on the Business Buzz.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to have you. Drew, how are things going at Pallium?
They're going great. We help businesses understand all aspects of revenue, profit, and risk by taking all forms of comms and giving the insights and direction people need to do business better.
Yeah, Drew, and which I think makes you an exceptionally good guest to talk about this emerging topic that is really catching the attention of a lot of folks in a number of industries, tech, bioscience, healthcare, just to name a few. And that is the Trump administration has made effective a new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas, which are instrumental, as I said before, for our science, technology, engineering, even healthcare sectors. Now, supporters say this protects American jobs. Opponents argue it could cripple our innovation economy by locking out essential high-skilled talent. One thing is for sure, this will drastically change the math for businesses that are considering using this program. Give us your take on what this means for the ability to hire and find talent here in Colorado.
I think both the proponents and detractors are right, and I think the nuance is around it is going to significantly change the landscape for innovation. $100,000 for a small, medium-sized business is a significant investment, and ultimately finding a way to pay for that or not, could be the difference between a business succeeding or failing.
Yeah.
And right now there is a challenge on finding good people to be able to meet certain requirements, and so I think it will certainly drive more jobs into the U.S. I think what's yet to be seen is the true deep impact of our companies going to be able to find the right people to fill those roles quickly enough.
Your experience in the tech industry, how reliant would you say Colorado companies are on the H-1B visa program?
I'd say for certain industries and certain size businesses, especially smaller businesses, there's a significant reliance on the program. And so this new law really does change the dynamics and landscape significantly.
Yeah, now there was a recent report that highlights the panic in the tech industry where leaders say the fee of this side would be a devastating blow, especially for startups and mid-sized companies. I want to unpack that a little bit more, Drew, because this is a world you're very familiar with. Could a small but fast-growing tech company realistically afford a $100,000 fee to hire, say, one essential engineer? And what does this do to their ability to compete?
I'd say no, absolutely not. I don't think they can afford it. I think maybe you can find a U.S.-based person for that role. Ultimately, I think it's going to be a little bit of a square peg, round hole. You're not going to be having a perfect fit, and I think there's a lot of downstream impacts to that. Like specifically, as we look at it and say, if you hire the perfect person, great, things go well, business succeeds. But if you're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole and you're missing some key competencies in that, you might move slower or you might not reach your outcome at all, which will longer term mean that you can't hire other people because you haven't been able to innovate and you haven't been able to get to market and you haven't been able to position the product effectively because it just doesn't do what it needs to because you kind of didn't have the right material to start with.
Yeah.
And so I think there's going to be some significant unintended consequences of it.